My wife's family disowned her for marrying me because I'm a blue-collar worker. 10 years later, they came crawling back asking for money. I was a mechanic. They wanted a doctor or lawyer. When we needed them, they ghosted us. When they needed money, they remembered we existed. My name is Marcus Thompson. I'm 35 years old. 10 years ago, I married my wife Sarah at a small ceremony in Detroit. Her family didn't attend, not because they couldn't make it, but because they chose not to. Because I wasn't good enough for her. I was an auto mechanic, working class, no college degree, no prestigious career. Sarah's family were doctors, lawyers, business owners, wealthy, successful, connected, and they made it very clear that I was beneath them. At our wedding, her mother stood up during the ceremony and said, "This marriage is a disgrace. You are throwing your life away on a man who will never be worthy of you." Then she walked out. Her father followed. Her siblings followed. Half the church emptied before we even said our vows. Sarah chose to continue, married me anyway, with tears streaming down her face. Her family disowned her that day, cut her off financially, told her she was dead to them unless she left me. We struggled for 10 years, working multiple jobs, barely making rent, living paycheck to paycheck. Her family never called, never helped, never acknowledged our existence. Then last year, I sold an invention I'd been working on for $8.2 million. Suddenly we had money. Suddenly we were successful. And suddenly Sarah's family wanted to reconcile. "We were wrong," her mother said on the phone. "We were just protecting you, but you've proven us wrong. Let's move past this." Then came the requests. Her brother needed $200,000 for his failing business. Her cousin needed $50,000 for medical bills. Her father wanted a $500,000 loan for his company. When I said no to all of them, they called me petty, vindictive, selfish. Said I was punishing them for one mistake. But I remember every time we needed them and they ghosted us. This is the story of being rejected by your in-laws for not being good enough, and refusing to forget that rejection when they decided you're suddenly worthy. I met Sarah when I was 23. She was 22. I was working at Joe's Auto Repair in Detroit. She brought in her Honda Civic with a strange noise coming from the engine. I diagnosed the problem: loose belt tensioner. Fixed it in 20 minutes. She was impressed. That was fast. Most places would have kept it for days. Most places would have told you it was something expensive. This was a 10-minute fix. I don't rip people off. She smiled. I appreciate that. What do I owe you? $40 for labor. No parts needed. She paid, thanked me, left. Came back 2 weeks later with the same car. I need an oil change, and I wanted to make sure you did it. I trust you. We talked while I worked. She was finishing her degree in graphic design, working part-time at a coffee shop. Loved art and music. I told her about my work, how I'd always been good with my hands, how I loved understanding how things worked. You should ask her out, Joe said after she left. She's into you. She's out of my league. Only if you think she is. Next time she came in, tire rotation, I asked her to dinner. She said yes immediately. Our first date was at a small Italian place downtown. We talked for hours. She told me about her family. Her parents had immigrated from China before she was born, built successful careers. Her father was a surgeon. Her mother was a real estate attorney. They're very traditional, she said, very focused on status and success. My older brother is a lawyer. My sister is a doctor. I'm the disappointment who went into art. Art's important. Not everything is about money. Try telling them that. I told her about my family. Dad was a factory worker. Mom was a nurse. They'd worked hard to give me and my sister decent childhoods. They sound lovely. They are. Nothing fancy. But they love us. We started dating seriously, spent all our free time together. Sarah's family didn't know about me at first. She kept me separate. They're judgmental, she explained. I want to make sure we're serious before I introduce you. 6 months in, she finally told them she was seeing someone. What does he do? Her mother asked. He's an auto mechanic. Silence on the phone. A mechanic? Sarah, please tell me you're joking. I'm not joking. He's amazing. Smart, kind, hardworking. He works with his hands. In a garage. Sarah, you have a college degree. You come from a professional family. You can't date a mechanic. Why not? Because it's beneath you. What will people think? I don't care what people think. Well, I care. Your father cares. This is unacceptable. Sarah stood her ground, kept dating me. Her family refused to meet me, refused to acknowledge I existed. When Sarah invited them to dinner to introduce me, they canceled last minute. When she invited them to her art show, they didn't show up. When she called on holidays, they asked if she was still seeing that mechanic, and hung up when she said yes. After 2 years, I proposed. Nothing fancy. I saved up for a modest ring, took her to Belle Isle, the park where we'd had our 3rd date, and asked her to marry me. She said yes, crying happy tears. I love you so much. Yes, absolutely yes. We planned a small wedding, church ceremony, simple reception, about 80 guests. Sarah invited her family, sent proper invitations, called to make sure they received them. Her mother answered, Mom, did you get the wedding invitation? I did. So you'll come? Sarah, I need you to understand something. If you marry this man, you are making the biggest mistake of your life. He will never provide for you, never give you the life you deserve. You will struggle and regret this, and it will be too late. Marcus is a good man. I love him. Love isn't enough. You need security, stability, status. He can't give you those things. He gives me happiness. Happiness fades. Then what are you left with? A mechanic's salary and regret. So you won't come to my wedding? I will not watch you ruin your life. None of us will. If you go through with this, you're choosing him over your family. And there are consequences to that choice. What consequences? You'll be on your own. Completely. No financial support. No family help. Nothing. If you want to throw away everything we've given you for a man who works in a garage, that's your choice. But don't expect us to support it. Sarah was devastated. Came to my apartment crying. They're not coming. Any of them. And they're cutting me off. I held her. We don't need their money. We have each other. But they're my family. I know, baby. I'm so sorry. Maybe I should try to talk to them again. Make them understand. No, you've tried. They've made their position clear. They think I'm not good enough. They're wrong. But we can't force them to see that. What if they're right? What if this is a mistake? I looked at her seriously. Do you love me? Yes, so much. Do you want to marry me? More than anything. Then it's not a mistake. Your family's opinion doesn't define our worth. We define it, and we're going to build a great life together. She nodded, wiped her tears. You're right. I'm choosing you, and I don't regret it. The wedding day came. Sarah wore a simple white dress. I wore my only suit. My family was there. My mom, my dad, my sister Tanya. My buddies from the shop. Sarah's friends from college. Sarah's side of the church was mostly empty. A few of her friends. But no family. We were halfway through the ceremony when the doors opened. Sarah's mother walked in, followed by her father, her brother David, her sister Lisa. My heart sank. Maybe they'd changed their minds. Maybe they were here to support her after all. Sarah's face lit up. They came, she whispered. But they didn't sit down. Her mother walked down the aisle, stopped in front of us. "Sarah," she said loudly, "I'm giving you one final chance. Walk away from this. Come home. We'll forget this ever happened." Sarah stared at her. "Mom, please, not here. If you marry him, you are no longer my daughter. You will be cut off from this family completely. Is that what you want?" The entire church was silent, everyone watching. Sarah's voice was quiet but firm. "I want to marry Marcus." Her mother's face hardened. "Then you've made your choice. Don't come crying to us when this falls apart. You're on your own." She turned and walked out. Her father followed without a word. David and Lisa hesitated, then left too. The doors closed behind them. Sarah was shaking, tears running down her face. The minister looked uncertain. "Should we continue?" I took Sarah's hands. "Sarah, look at me. Do you want to do this?" She took a shaky breath. "Yes, I want to marry you." "Then let's get married." We finished the ceremony, said our vows, exchanged rings. When the minister said, "You may kiss the bride," I kissed my wife for the first time. The church applauded. My mom was crying. My dad was beaming. But Sarah's side was empty, a physical reminder of what she'd given up to marry me. At the reception, she tried to stay upbeat, danced with me, smiled for photos. But I could see the pain in her eyes. "I'm sorry," I told her during our first dance. "I'm sorry they did that to you. It's not your fault." "I feel like it is. If you'd fallen in love with a lawyer or a doctor." "Stop. I fell in love with you. I chose you. I don't regret it." "Even after what just happened?" "Especially after what just happened. They showed me who they really are. And you showed me who you really are. You're the one who stayed, who supported me, who loves me unconditionally. That's what matters." I held her close. "I'm going to spend the rest of my life making sure you never regret choosing me." "I already know I won't." We started our married life with nothing. Sarah had been cut off from her family's money. No trust fund. No financial support. Nothing. I was making $35,000 a year as a mechanic. She was working part-time as a barista and doing freelance graphic design. We rented a tiny one-bedroom apartment in a rough neighborhood. $650 a month. Best we could afford. We furnished it with second-hand furniture from Goodwill. Ate a lot of ramen and pasta. Budgeted every dollar. But we were happy. We had each other. Sarah tried to reach out to her family a few times in those early months. Called her mother on her birthday. No answer. Left a voicemail. No return call. Texted her sister. No response. Sent her father a card on Father's Day. Never acknowledged. Eventually she stopped trying. "They've made their position clear," she said. "I'm dead to them. I'm sorry." "Don't be. I made my choice. I just wish they could see that you're a good man. Maybe someday they will. Maybe." Year one was hard. We worked constantly, barely saw each other. I'd work 50, 60 hours a week at the shop. Took on side jobs fixing cars in our apartment parking lot on weekends. Sarah worked at the coffee shop during the day. Did design work at night. We were exhausted all the time, but we were building something. Year two, Sarah got a better job at a small marketing agency. $40,000 a year. Huge increase. We could afford a slightly better apartment. Started saving a little money. I got promoted to senior mechanic. $45,000 a year. Every bit helped. Year three, we started talking about buying a house. Kids. A future. But we were nowhere close financially. Houses in decent neighborhoods were $200,000 and up. We'd saved maybe $15,000. Sarah had a moment of weakness. Called her mother. "Mom, it's Sarah. I know we haven't talked, but I wanted to let you know I'm doing well. Marcus and I are happy. We're thinking about buying a house. starting a family. I wanted you to know." Her mother's voice was cold. "Are you calling to ask for money?" "What? No, I'm calling to talk to you, to tell you about my life. If you're not asking for money, I don't know why you're calling. You made your choice. Live with it." She hung up. Sarah cried for hours. I held her. "Why do I keep trying? Why do I keep hoping they'll change?" "Because they're your family. It's natural to want their love." "But they don't love me. They haven't for years." "They do love you. They just don't know how to show it. They're stubborn and wrong. But I believe they love you. Even if they do, it doesn't matter. They'll never accept you. Never accept us. Then we build our family without them. We'll have kids who know they're loved. Who know that people's worth isn't defined by their job or their bank account." She nodded. "You're right. We don't need them." Years 4 through 9 blurred together. We worked. We saved. We lived frugally. I kept tinkering in my spare time. Always liked working on mechanical problems. Started developing an idea for a diagnostic tool. Something that could identify engine problems faster and more accurately than existing tools. Spent nights in our garage working on prototypes. Sarah helped with the design and interface. "You really think this could be something?" she asked. "I think mechanics would use it. Could save hours of diagnostic time. You should patent it." "Patents are expensive." "We'll figure it out. This could be big." I filed for a provisional patent. Spent our savings on a patent lawyer. Built a working prototype. Tested it at Joe's shop. The guys loved it. "Marcus, this is genius. You could sell this." I started reaching out to manufacturers. Sent prototypes. Made pitches. Most ignored me. A few sent polite rejections. Then in year 10, I got a call from a major automotive tool company. "Mr. Thompson, we've reviewed your diagnostic tool. We're very interested. We'd like to discuss acquisition." My heart raced. "Acquisition? We want to buy the patent and manufacturing rights. Bring you on as a consultant. Are you interested in discussing terms?" "Yes, absolutely." The negotiation took 3 months. Back and forth. Offers and counteroffers. Finally, they made their best offer. $8.2 million for full rights to the tool. I called Sarah at work. "Baby, sit down." "What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. They made an offer." "And?" $8.2 million. Silence. "Sarah, are you serious?" "That's real. That's real. If we accept, we're millionaires." She started crying. "Oh my God, Marcus. Oh my God. I know. We did it. We actually did it. We did. We accepted the offer." The money hit our account 30 days later. $8.2 million. After taxes, about $5.5 million. We paid off all our debts. Bought a beautiful house in a good neighborhood. 4 bedrooms. Big backyard. The kind of place we dreamed about. Set aside money for our future kids' education. Invested the rest. For the first time in our marriage, we weren't stressed about money. We could breathe. And that's when Sarah's family reached out. It started with a text from her sister Lisa. "Hey Sarah, I know it's been a long time. I heard about Marcus's success. That's amazing. I'm really happy for you guys. Would love to reconnect if you're open to it." Sarah stared at her phone. "Lisa just texted me." "What did she say?" "She showed me." "How do you feel about that?" "I don't know. Part of me wants to talk to her. But where was she for the last 10 years?" "That's a fair question." Sarah didn't respond to the text. 2 days later, her mother called. Sarah answered hesitantly. "Hello." "Sarah, it's your mother." "I know. What do you want?" "I've been thinking a lot lately. About our relationship. About the choices I made. I was wrong to cut you off. I was trying to protect you. but I went about it the wrong way. I'd like to talk. To reconcile. Sarah looked at me. I stayed quiet. This was her call. Why now? Sarah asked. What do you mean? You haven't spoken to me in 10 years. Why are you calling now? Because I've had time to reflect, to realize that family is more important than pride. This doesn't have anything to do with Marcus's business success? Of course not. I don't care about money. Care about you. You're my daughter. I miss you. Sarah wanted to believe her. I could see it in her eyes. I need to think about this, Sarah said. Of course. Take your time. But Sarah, I really am sorry. I want to make things right. Sarah hung up. What do you think? She asked me. I think the timing is suspicious. But maybe she's genuine. Maybe she really does regret it. Maybe, but she didn't regret it enough to call when we were struggling. Only now that we have money. You think she's after our money? I think we should be cautious. Sarah agreed to meet her mother for coffee. Just the two of them. I waited at home, anxious. Sarah came back 2 hours later looking conflicted. How was it? She apologized, said she was wrong, that she judged you unfairly, that she wants to be part of our lives again. Did she ask about money? Not directly, but she mentioned that things have been tough lately, that Dad's medical practice isn't doing as well as it used to, that they've had some financial setbacks. There it was. Did she ask you for anything? Not yet, but I got the feeling that's coming. How do you feel about seeing her again? I want to believe she's changed. I want my mother back. But I don't trust this. Trust your instincts. Over the next month, Sarah's family came out of the woodwork. Her brother David called, wanted to get together, catch up. They met for lunch. He brought up his law practice, how it was struggling, how he'd made some bad investments. I could really use some capital to get back on track, he said. I know you and Marcus are doing well. Any chance you could invest? I'd pay you back with interest. How much are you talking about? 200,000. I know it's a lot, but I'm family, and I'd make it right. Sarah told him she needed to talk to me. Later that week, her cousin Jennifer called. Medical bills. Her insurance wouldn't cover experimental treatment. Needed $50,000. I wouldn't ask if I wasn't desperate, but you're the only one who can help. Sarah felt guilty. This was health-related. Life or death potentially. Let me talk to Marcus. Her father called next. Business loan. $500,000. His surgical center was in debt. I know we haven't had a relationship, and that's my fault, but you're my daughter, and I need help. Will you help me? Sarah was overwhelmed, came to me in tears. They all want money, every single one of them. I know, baby. What do I do? David's business is failing. Jennifer might die without treatment. Dad could lose everything he's built. Let's look at each situation individually, starting with Jennifer. Is her medical situation real? Sarah called Jennifer back, asked for specifics, documentation, contact information for her doctors. Jennifer got defensive. You don't believe me? You think I'm lying about having cancer? I'm not saying that. I just want to understand the situation. If you can't help me without interrogating me, forget it. I thought family was supposed to be there for each other. She hung up. Sarah investigated anyway. Turned out Jennifer didn't have cancer. She had a chronic condition that was managed with regular medication. Expensive but not life-threatening, and mostly covered by insurance. The $50,000 was for elective treatments and alternative medicine that wasn't medically necessary. Sarah was furious. She lied to me, made it sound like she was dying. We looked into David's business next. His law practice was struggling, but not because of the economy, because he'd been living beyond his means. Expensive cars, vacations, a house he couldn't afford. The $200,000 wasn't for business capital. It was to cover his personal debts. Her father's situation was similar. His surgical center was in debt because of poor management and overspending. None of them needed money for genuine emergencies. They wanted money to bail themselves out of bad decisions. What should I tell them? Sarah asked. Tell them the truth, that we're not a bank, that their financial problems aren't our responsibility. Sarah called David first. I can't invest in your practice. I'm sorry. What? Sarah, I'm your brother. I need this. You need to make better financial decisions, not bail you out. So that's how it is? You get rich and forget where you came from. I didn't forget anything. You forgot about me for 10 years. When I needed family, you weren't there. Now you need money and suddenly I'm your sister again? No. You're making a huge mistake. Family is supposed to help each other. You're right. Family is supposed to help each other. Where were you when I needed help? She hung up. She called Jennifer next. Similar conversation. Similar outrage. You've changed, Sarah. Money changed you. No. You're only talking to me because of money. That's the change. She called her father last. Dad, I can't loan you $500,000. Can't or won't? Both. This isn't my responsibility. After everything I've done for you, what have you done for me? You disowned me. You cut me off. You told me I was dead to you. I was trying to protect you. From what? From a good man who loves me? From a happy marriage? From struggling? From being poor? We did struggle. We were poor. And you could have helped. You chose not to. Now you're struggling and you want me to help you? Why would I do that? Because I'm your father. A father who abandoned his daughter for marrying the wrong man. You don't get to play the family card now. You're punishing me for one mistake. It wasn't one mistake, Dad. It was 10 years of mistakes, 10 years of silence, 10 years of making it clear I didn't matter to you. And now you're doing the same to me. No, I'm setting a boundary. I'm not your ATM. If you want a relationship with me, it can't be based on money. If you can't accept that, then we have nothing to talk about. He hung up on her. Sarah's mother called the next day. What have you done? Your father is furious. Your brother is calling you ungrateful. Jennifer says you accused her of lying. I didn't accuse her. I verified her story, and it wasn't true. So you're refusing to help your family? I'm refusing to give money to people who only want me in their lives because I have it. That's not fair. We made a mistake years ago, but we're trying to make amends. By asking for money? By rebuilding our relationship. If you want to rebuild our relationship, it starts with an apology. A real one. Not a request for money disguised as reconciliation. We did apologize. No, you said you wanted to move past it. That's not the same as acknowledging what you did wrong and making genuine amends. What more do you want from us? I want you to acknowledge that you disowned me for marrying a good man, that you humiliated me at my wedding, that you ignored me for 10 years while I struggled, that you only came back when I had money. I want you to recognize how much you hurt me. We were protecting you. You were protecting your pride. You were embarrassed that I married a mechanic. You cared more about what your friends thought than about my happiness. That's not true. It is true, and until you can admit that, we have nothing to build on. Her mother went silent. If that's how you feel, fine, but don't expect us to keep trying. You're the one choosing money over family now. I'm not choosing money over family. I'm choosing my husband and my self-respect over people who use me. Sarah hung up. She was shaking, but she also looked relieved. I did it. I actually stood up to them. I'm proud of you. They're going to hate me. They already showed you how they feel about you. You're just refusing to pretend anymore. Do you think I'm wrong? Should I have helped them? No, you're not wrong. They disowned you. They don't get to undisown you when it's convenient. The family went nuclear after that. Sarah's mother posted on Facebook. It's heartbreaking when your children forget where they came from. When money changes them so much they turn their backs on family in need. Praying for my daughter to find her way back to the values we raised her with. Friends and relatives who didn't know the full story commented with support for her mother. So sorry you're going through this. Kids these days forget about family. Money really does change people. Sarah wanted to respond, to tell the truth. I advised against it. Don't engage. People who matter know the truth. People who don't know the truth don't matter. Her brother David sent a long text. You used to be a good person, caring and generous. Now you're just greedy. Dad could lose his business and you don't care. Jennifer could die and you don't care. I guess Marcus taught you to only care about yourself. You deserve each other. Sarah blocked him. Her sister Lisa sent a more measured message. I understand you're angry. You have a right to be, but they're still our parents. They made mistakes. Can't you find it in your heart to forgive them? To help them when they need it? Sarah responded, where were they when I needed them? I lost my family when I got married. I grieved that loss. I moved on. They don't get to come back just because I have money now. Lisa didn't respond. The requests kept coming for months. Distant cousins, family friends, people Sarah barely knew. All with sob stories, all needing money, all acting like they were entitled to it. We said no to everyone. And with each no, Sarah got stronger. I don't owe them anything, she'd say. They made their choices. I'm making mine. A year passed. The requests slowed down. The family mostly stopped calling. Sarah's mother sent one final message. I hope you're happy. You've destroyed this family. Your father is stressed to the point of illness. Your brother lost his practice. Jennifer is struggling. All because you're too selfish to help. I hope your money is worth it. Sarah read it, deleted it, blocked her mother's number. Are you okay? I asked. I'm fine. Better than fine. I'm free. No regrets. None. They wanted me to feel guilty, to believe that their problems are my fault. But they're not. They made their own choices, just like I made mine. I love you. I love you too, and I'd choose you again, every single time. We've been married 11 years now. Bought our dream house, started a family. We have a daughter, Emma. She's 2 years old. My parents are incredible grandparents. My sister is an amazing aunt. We have friends, community, support, love. We don't have Sarah's family, but we have everything that matters. Sarah doesn't talk about them much anymore. Sometimes she'll see a photo on social media. Someone got married. Someone had a baby. Milestones she's not part of. It makes her sad, but not regretful. I gave them chances, she says. Multiple chances. They only wanted me when it benefited them. Do you think they'll ever really apologize? No. They'd have to admit they were wrong. That they judged you unfairly. That they abandoned me. They're too proud for that. I'm sorry you lost them. I didn't lose them. They lost me. I think about her mother's words at our wedding sometimes. You're throwing your life away on a man who will never be worthy of you. She was wrong about me, wrong about us, wrong about everything. But she'll never admit it. And that's okay. Because Sarah knows the truth. I'm not perfect. I'm not rich because of breeding or education or connections. I'm just a guy who worked hard, who loved his wife, who built something from nothing. And that's worthy. Sarah chose me when I had nothing, when her family offered her everything if she'd just leave me. She chose love over money, over status, over family approval. That's real loyalty, real love. Now we have money. Now we have success. And her family wants back in. But they can't have it both ways. They can't reject us when we're struggling and expect acceptance when we're successful. They made their choice. We've made ours. We're building our own family, our own legacy, our own life. Without them. And we're happy. Emma will grow up knowing she's loved. Knowing that worth isn't measured by job titles or bank accounts. Knowing that real family shows up, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. She'll know her grandparents, my parents, who love her unconditionally. She won't know Sarah's parents, by their choice, not ours. That's sad, but it's not our fault. We offered them a relationship. They wanted money instead. They chose wrong. Sometimes people ask if I'd ever reconcile with Sarah's family. My answer is simple. That's Sarah's decision, not mine. If she wants to rebuild those relationships, I'll support her. But it has to be on honest terms, not transactional, not conditional. Real apologies, real accountability, real change. So far, they haven't shown any of that. So the answer stays no. No money, no bailouts, no pretending the past didn't happen. They disowned Sarah for marrying me. 10 years later, they want my money. The answer is no. Not because I'm petty, not because I'm punishing them, but because respect is earned, trust is earned, family is earned. And they haven't earned any of it. My wife stood by me when I was a mechanic making $35,000 a year. Her family can live with the consequences of abandoning her. That's justice. That's fair. That's how it should be. Have you ever been rejected by a partner's family for not being good enough? Have you ever had family members who ignored you until you had something they wanted? Have you ever had to choose between love and family approval? Share your experience in the comments. Sometimes the people who should support you are the ones who hurt you most. And sometimes saying no is the only self-respecting option. Looking back on everything, I realize how much that wedding day changed us. Not just because of the public humiliation, though that was brutal, but because it clarified everything. Sarah's family had a choice: support their daughter's happiness or protect their pride. They chose pride. And in that moment, Sarah and I became a team against the world. No safety net, no backup plan, just us. That could have broken us. The pressure, the struggle, the isolation. Instead, it made us stronger. We learned to rely on each other completely. When I was exhausted from working 60-hour weeks, Sarah would remind me why we were doing this. When she was crying because her mother wouldn't answer her calls, I'd hold her and remind her that we were enough. We became each other's family. And that bond is unbreakable now. Her biological family can't compete with that. They can't undo 10 years of abandonment with a few phone calls and apologies. They can't buy their way back into her life with fake emergencies and guilt trips. The foundation is gone. The trust is gone. The relationship is gone. And money can't fix that. I remember the early years so clearly. Our apartment with the leaky faucet we couldn't afford to fix properly. The winter we kept the heat at 62 degrees to save money. The times we'd split a single meal at a restaurant because we couldn't afford 2 entrees. Sarah's birthday the second year we were married. I wanted to take her somewhere nice, do something special. But we had maybe $50 of discretionary money that month. So I cooked dinner at home, spaghetti and meatballs, her favorite. Set up candles, put on music, made it as romantic as I could. She cried, "This is perfect. You're perfect. I wish I could give you more, take you to a fancy restaurant, buy you expensive gifts. I don't need that. I just need you. This is more than enough." That's the woman I married. The woman who saw value in effort and love, not dollar signs. Her family never understood that about her. They assumed she'd need their money eventually, that she'd come crawling back. They were wrong. We made it work, paycheck to paycheck sometimes, but we made it. And when my invention paid off, it wasn't because I was trying to prove them wrong. It was because I wanted to build something, to solve a problem, to create value. The money was almost secondary. What mattered was that I'd created something from nothing. Just like Sarah and I had created our life together from nothing. No inheritance, no trust fund, no family connections. Just hard work and love and persistence. That's real wealth. The kind that can't be taken away or lost in a market crash. When Sarah's family came back asking for money, they revealed what they truly valued. Not relationships, not love, not family bonds. Just money. Her mother's apology wasn't about missing Sarah. It was about accessing Sarah's bank account. Her brother's desire to reconnect wasn't about brotherhood. It was about getting investment capital. Every interaction, every conversation, every message came back to money. They couldn't even pretend convincingly. And Sarah saw right through it. They don't miss me, she said. They miss what they think I can do for them. How does that make you feel? Sad, but also clear. I spent years hoping they'd come around. Hoping they'd see you for who you really are. Hoping they'd apologize and we could have a real relationship again. Now I know that was never going to happen. They're not capable of it. You deserve better. I have better. I have you. I have Emma. I have your family. I have our friends. I have real love and real support. That's better than anything they could offer. She was right. My parents welcomed Sarah from day one. My mom cried when we told her we were engaged. Happy tears. She's wonderful, Marcus. You're so lucky. I know, Mom. Are her parents coming to the wedding? We don't think so. They don't approve of me. My mom's face hardened. Their loss. Anyone who can't see what a good man you are isn't worth knowing. At the wedding, after Sarah's family walked out, my mom went to Sarah. Hugged her tight. You're my daughter now. You'll always have family with us. Sarah sobbed in her arms. Thank you. No thanks needed. Your family. That's what family does. And my mom meant it. She treated Sarah like her own daughter, called her weekly, remembered her birthday, showed up when we needed help. When Sarah got sick with the flu our second year of marriage, my mom brought over soup and medicine. Sat with her while I was at work, made sure she was okay. Your mother is amazing, Sarah told me later. I don't know what I did to deserve her. You married her son. That's all it took. I wish my family was like this. I know, baby. I'm sorry they're not. When we told my parents about the invention sale, they were thrilled. Not because of the money, but because they were proud. You built something, Marcus, my dad said. That's incredible. All those nights you spent tinkering in the garage paid off. Thanks, Dad. What are you going to do with the money? Buy a house. Save for Emma's college. Invest the rest. Be smart about it. Good plan. Don't let it change you. I won't. And it didn't. We still go to my parents' house for Sunday dinner. Still help them with yard work and home repairs. Still value the relationship we've always had. The money just made life easier, less stressful, more secure. It didn't change who we are or what we value. Sarah's family couldn't understand that. They assumed money would change us, make us forget our roots, turn us into people like them. People who measure worth by bank accounts and job titles. But we're not like them. And we never will be. I think about the different paths Sarah could have taken. If she'd listened to her mother, left me, married someone they approved of, some doctor or lawyer from a good family, she'd probably have a big house, nice cars, country club membership. All the things her mother thought she needed to be happy. But would she actually be happy? Or would she be trapped in a life built on other people's expectations? I'd like to think she chose the better path. The harder path, but the authentic one. The path where she got to decide what mattered. Where she got to build a life on her own terms. Where she got to be loved for who she is, not what her family name is. That's freedom. That's real success. And no amount of money can buy that. Our daughter Emma is growing up in a different world than either of us did. She'll never worry about money the way we did. She'll have opportunities we didn't have. She'll go to good schools, have her college paid for, travel, experience things. But we're making sure she understands the value of hard work. The importance of earning things, the dignity in all honest work. When she's old enough, I'll take her to an auto shop. Show her what I used to do, explain how I built the thing that changed our lives. Make sure she knows her dad wasn't always wealthy. That wealth isn't what defines a person's worth. Sarah talks to her the same way. Mommy used to work in a coffee shop, she tells Emma. I made lattes and cleaned tables. And I was happy because I was working hard and building a life with Daddy. Emma won't grow up ashamed of where we came from. She'll grow up proud of what we built. And she'll know her maternal grandparents by their absence. Not because we spoke poorly of them. We won't. But because they chose not to be in her life. That's on them, not on us. Sometimes I wonder if they regret it. If Sarah's mother lies awake at night thinking about the granddaughter she's never met. If her father wonders what Emma looks like, what her personality is, what she likes. If her siblings realize what they've missed. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Either way, it's too late. They had chances, multiple chances, to apologize genuinely, to rebuild without conditions. They chose money instead. And you don't get unlimited chances to make the same mistake. At some point, the door closes. For Sarah's family, that door is closed. Not locked, just closed. If they ever come back with genuine remorse, not requests for money, but actual acknowledgement of harm and desire for relationship, we'd consider it. But I'm not holding my breath. People like that rarely change. They're too invested in being right. Too proud to admit they were wrong. Too entitled to accept consequences. So they'll probably go to their graves believing Sarah is the one who abandoned them. Not the other way around. And there's nothing we can do about that. We can only control our own actions, our own choices, our own lives. We chose love. We chose partnership. We chose building something real. They chose pride. They chose status. They chose conditional love. Those choices have consequences. For all of us. The difference is we're happy with our consequences. I have a wife who loves me unconditionally. A daughter who's healthy and happy. Financial security I earned through my own work. A life built on honest foundations. What do they have? Money problems they expected us to solve. A daughter they rejected who doesn't speak to them. A granddaughter they'll never know. Relationships destroyed by their own choices. I know which situation I'd rather be in. And I'm grateful every day that Sarah chose the path she did. That she saw past what I didn't have to who I actually was. That she valued character over credentials. That she chose our future over her family's approval. That's the greatest gift she could have given me. Not the wedding, not the years of struggle, not even Emma, but the choice. The conscious decision to say, this man is worth it, this life is worth it, this love is worth it. And then proving it every day by staying, by fighting, by building. Her family thought she was making a mistake. Thought she'd regret choosing a mechanic over their money. But she never did. Not once. Even in the hardest times, she never wavered. Never said, maybe my mother was right. Never looked at me with regret or resentment. She chose me, fully, completely, permanently, and that's why their money can't buy their way back in. Because what we have is built on something they can't understand or value. Real loyalty, real partnership, real love. The kind that doesn't change based on bank account balances. The kind that lasts. We're 11 years in now, and stronger than ever. Building a family, building a life, building a legacy. Without them. And we're doing just fine. If you believe that family who abandons you doesn't get to come back when it's convenient, hit that like button and subscribe. Because loyalty is a two-way street. And people who reject you when you're down don't deserve access to you when you're up. #they disowned her.